Good afternoon, everyone. It's Clarence again, back with my brother Deshaun with Premier Youth Sports. Glad to have you guys tuning in again. We have an awesome day set up for you guys. We got a couple of premier trainers, not necessarily premier youth sports trainers, but they are premier trainers with a lot of background, a lot of depth that I think you guys are going to enjoy. To my right, we have Kevin Jones, and to my left, we have Stacy Edwards, and we're just glad to have you guys with us today.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. So basically, today, what we more or less, we want to get your guys' story, based how you guys got started, kind of even back to your high school career, things that you did, and how it transitioned to you even doing the training that you do today. So, Stacy, I think I'll start with you on my left. So if you can give us a little bit about how you got started, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm originally from Georgia. My family moved around a little bit. We moved to Los Angeles. When I was in LA, went to a private school that didn't have, only sport they had was track. Didn't have anything else. We moved to Eastern Washington, and that was my first introduction to basically everything else: basketball, football. But still, I was just a country boy. You know, I didn't understand sports and the potential of sports. And I didn't, be honest with you, I didn't think I had any potential, right? Majority of my career growing up until I got to probably junior high, I was a lineman, believe it or not. I was an offensive lineman, I was a center. And so, but obviously kids kept getting bigger, and I stayed the same size, and got into high school, was moved, was quarterback as a freshman, then moved to running back, and as we kind of spoke, before, off camera, really the change for me is when my parents allowed me the opportunity to go see some friends that I knew growing up there in the Tri-Cities, who were playing at the University of Idaho and at WSU, and gave me an opportunity to hang out with them for a weekend. It was a life-changing event for me because I was a kid who was unfocused from an academic standpoint. I wasn't getting it done. I was doing the minimum, right? If you told me I needed a 2.0, I was going to get a 2.0. Right. If they would have said I needed a 3.0 to play, I would have did it, but I was just doing the minimum. And once I got on that campus and I saw what it was about, it changed everything, right? Because when you see it on TV, it's like it's a million miles away, and you can't necessarily picture yourself in that situation. But going there and seeing guys that I knew, right, and guys that I kind of grew up with, performing at that level, and having them tell me, man, you can do this, but you got to handle your business, right? When I got back, I was a changed man, or boy. I started to focus in on school. I was not a good high school student, but I was a 3.2 college student. And it's because I got focused, but I got my focus late. But I got focused, and that's kind of what helped me get through, get me to the University of Montana, get me, my degree, and obviously I played a little bit afterwards. But really, for me, it's all about that college experience, right? And it's not even the experience; it's what it does for you afterwards, right? That I understand it's a piece of paper, but that piece of paper pretty much gives you a license to go anywhere and get a job, right? And that's really kind of what it's all about for me.
Man, thank you for sharing that, man.
Yeah.
Now we want to find out also about you, Kevin, man. Just want to hear a little bit about your story and your path and what got you going and doing what you're doing now.
All right. Started off for me, I played for Rainier Eagles when I was a kid. I started at 5 years old. My dad signed a waiver and said, hey, if I get injured, it's on him. And that was Rainier in the days where we had 100 some odd kids on the team. We had the Rainier Green, Rainier White, Rainier Black, and so we were deep in talent. So every practice was a game. We had running backs playing line, and if you wanted to survive, you had to go to work. So that was embedded in me at an early age. I think what changed my football life was I can remember like it was yesterday. My brother ran me over, and I said that will never happen to me again. Dad, what do I need to do to get better? And that's at 5 years old. So he said, man, it's either hit or be hit. Right. So I started putting contact into my game a little bit more, and then as we got older, I was fortunate enough to have my dad there and have the brain power to start training a little bit earlier. we were always athletic. We figured out if you mix that work ethic in there with it, then the sky's the limit.
Right.
So we did that, man, and we were really dedicated, and this is where I got my style from in training, with logging your results and your times when you're running, and meeting or beating whatever it is that you do. You have to set your goals somewhere, and if you're putting your log on paper, you can see it, you can achieve it. Right. You can always say, hey man, I ran a 4.7 and then you forgot what you ran 10 minutes later. Right. How am I going to beat that? You know, I went to Kentwood High School, had the opportunity to play under a great coach, Tom Ingles, and they saw me as a little guy that wants to play football, and they really didn't have any idea about my background. We went to the University of Puget Sound camp, man, and my dad said, it's time to show out. We're not going there to learn anything, right? We're going to show your talent and what you've been working for all these years. So, man, it was a game. It was another opportunity for me to have them call my name. And as a sophomore playing on a loaded Kentwood team, I most definitely made a name for myself and, you know, played my role as a young pup. And then when it was my turn, Friday nights, my junior year and my senior year, we most definitely made it count. I always knew I wanted to go to college as a kid, and why I wanted to go to college, and that I wanted to give back when I got done if I didn't make it. That was always a goal of mine. So I had the opportunity to. I had a rocky road in high school, pretty much in school period, and I think I started learning who I was in school when they wanted to diagnose me with ADD and ADHD, and my dad said, hold on a minute, my kid is social. He just likes to have friends, and he likes to talk, and you know, and all that is fine. He has to figure out a way to reel in and receive the information and be able to spit it back out, you know, on test days. So, you know, I went through a lot of things in school. They wanted to diagnose me, they misdiagnosed me. They diagnosed me with test anxiety. You know, I would actually, you know, bit my nails during my test, have nosebleeds during my test, blank out during my test. And that's just something that we never knew to really pay attention to when I was coming up. You know, you say every kid learns differently. You know, and it's absolutely true. So you can have a kid in your class and he's off in the back because he's embarrassed. He doesn't participate because he's embarrassed. And he just doesn't know how to articulate what he wants to say the right way. Even like when they say, hey, show your math problems. I mean, I know the answer. I just don't know how to get there. Right. And he's getting marked down for that. Now he's failing. And now he doesn't want to participate in that anymore. So I had that going on. That was a obstacle for me that I had to figure out how to get through. Obviously tutors and stuff paved the way for me, and just being at home and reading, more reading, because we all say, you know, reading is power. And I grabbed a hold of that in college and had better grades when I was there, just like you did. But for me, there was a bunch of adversity, like the whole recruiting phase. My senior year, man, my grandmother passed away during one of my games, and I lived with her, so it was really a shock for me when I had to go home and she wasn't there anymore. So, I mean, I was troubled in that manner, and you see it today. A lot of people are passing. We see it more. So, how are these kids, how are these young men handling that? Are they flushing it down the toilet, or are they figuring out and reaching out to their resources for somebody to lean on and have help that way? I was fortunate enough again to have my parents right there with me, man, and we finished the drill and we figured out why I had to have a why at that point in time. And my why was from my grandmother, because she instilled so much in me I couldn't disappoint her, right? So that was my why to finish it. I fought through college. I bounced around. I was a little bit nomadic, as we see today, with kids transferring from place to place. And in my experience, for me being nomadic, you don't want to be nomadic. That doesn't show any stick-to-itiveness. It doesn't show that you can just stay at one place and get the job done. And if you're looking at colleges, they don't want that in their university. So I'd encourage a lot more of you young men to stick to where you're at. You know, they're going to find you as long as you're putting up and producing what you need to do. I played at Utah State University. I took a course with BYU online to finalize my AA. Again, it was a rough road. I had to get a B I was getting a C. I wasn't failing, but I just wasn't getting the grade that they had, and I needed a teacher instead of being online teaching myself about anthropology.
Right,
So I came home. I left there, man. It was a great opportunity for me there. Learned a lot. Had a lot of great friends. But I came home, went to Highline. Ended up getting an A in the course, and went on to Western Washington, where I had a really good junior season. Looking to go play on Sunday, depending on how my senior season went. My coach moved on. We had a guy from the Oakland Raiders come down, Robin Ross, which was a really good deal, man. And I was training, man, that summer, and somehow my wheel blew out. I had an injury to my Achilles, to where it made me miss 2 senior years. I had a medical, and then I tried to come back, and then they sat me down again. One trying to diagnose the injury, and the other one giving me the surgery. I mean, I healthy. I ran 4.28, 40, 4.36 consistent for scout. So it was it was going to happen.
Right.
And that's another testament to adversity. When you're injured, man, you most definitely have to listen to your body. How many of these young men say, "Oh, I'm injured. I'm fine. I'm going back in." Well, when your feet say you hurting,
Right.
you need to get off them. It's weight bearing, and you know, just paying attention and doing the right things that get you back on track and back on the field. Because my coach always told me, you can't make the club in the tub. Right. So, you know, we did that deal, man. Tried to get healthy, and my coach Robin Ross said, "Jones, when are you going to stop playing? When is that going to be a realization for you?" And I was like, "Never, coach." You know. But I did have a backup plan, and that was where we're at now, and to come home and give back to the community that helped raise me, and mentor these young men and teach them the red lights. You know.